begin our show on this fine Friday with a little heart rate spiking night, right, in the WNBA Playoffs. There were 4 teams, 2 chances to advance to the semifinals, and one incredible night of basketball. So first up, let's start, shall we, with that nail-biting finish we had between the Fever and the Dream. Caitlin Clark. We're going to get back to that footwear. We're going to pick this one up late, 2:35 to go in the fourth. The Dream up to Ryan Howard. That left wing nails the 3. But here comes Indiana. Kelsey Mitchell, she has been so good for them all season long. Gets that tough contested layup. And then watch here. As Jordan Canada brings it up the floor, on the right of your screen, you see Carl Semesco, the head coach for the Dream, pleading for that timeout. But he didn't get one. So later in that possession, Bree Jones throws it out of bounds. The Fever, they would capitalize on that. Lexi Hall gets inside, finishes there. Indiana makes it a 1-point game. So now 16 seconds left. The Fever still down 1. Kelsey Mitchell, on this broken play, almost loses it. But look at Aaliyah Boston. Leaks out there. And Odyssey Sims finds her underneath the basket. Sims fired all the way up. Fever, they're up by 1 with 7 seconds remaining. So this is the next Dream possession. Inbounding in the front court, down 1. They cannot get it in bounds. And so they have to take a timeout here. This is the ensuing inbound. Howard, it looks like she's trying to throw it into Jones there, but Hall steals it away. The Dream, they're forced to foul with just 1.2 seconds left, and the Fever is starting to rise, beginning to celebrate this improbable victory. Indiana, they'd make 1 of 2 free throws. Final chance here for Atlanta. Jones can't connect for 3, and even without Caitlin Clark, the Fever are headed to the semifinals. Look at Clark lifting those Air Force Ones in the air to celebrate. This is how excited they were in the hallway after the game.
Y'all are a tough bunch of I mean, I cannot even put into words how proud I am. It's like the toughness that it takes, like the gut checks that it takes. Like, y'all, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we've been through all of it, right? So it doesn't matter the circumstance. It doesn't matter the score. It doesn't matter the time. You always put your best foot forward. And I am so proud that we live to fight another day! Here we go! Hell yeah! 3, 1, 2, 3! Hell yeah!
And that is the energy we all need on this Friday. You know what else we need? We need a little NBA Today debut, and Ari Chambers is making hers right now. Sis, you were at the game last night in Atlanta. I'm so glad to unpack it with you now because the Fever, they turned some dreams into nightmares for Atlanta, but resilience, right? That's the word that I keep coming back to. How did the Fever demonstrate that in this game?
Well, Malika, I think it's only appropriate to continue the Meek Mill. The Indiana Fever said, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought we were finished, and they weren't.
Okay.
But they're used to having their backs against the wall. So in a time where you have a team who has faced so much adversity over time, you attack it through relentless defense and just prowess and grit. And they had grit with Lexi Hull, her ability to utilize her length and just her insight to everything. And staying relentless in her pursuit with that. And Coach Stephanie White said that the tech that Aaliyah Boston got was actually the turning point for them. They were really going into the fact that they were just having to prove themselves back against the wall, but it was a point of composure. And so they regained composure and just settled in and were able to close it out.
And I just love the energy they played with throughout this game, no matter as the Dream started to pull away. I thought it was done when it was a 5-point game there at the end. Even on that broken play, the resilience once again from this team that has been downtrodden, that has had so many injuries. It's going to be fun to see them in the second round here. And now we know who they're going to play, right? Because from one thriller to another, Game 3 coming after the Storm handed the Aces their first loss in 18 games. This one was a pretty immediate classic. Asia Wilson, receiving her co-defensive player of the year. Her parents accepted it for her, but she had to make an appearance. And then look at this. She collected her 12th career playoff game with at least 10 made field goals. That is the most in WNBA history. She finished with 38 points in this one, 14 of 26 shooting. More on that in a second. But the Storm, they were in this game. 1:18 left to go here. Skylar Diggins hits the three on the wing. Seattle goes up by 1. So this is the next Aces possession here. Wilson gets it inside. This is the woman you want to be handling the rock. Goes all the way around the rim and in. The Aces back in front. So 28 seconds left. Vegas still up 1 here. Wilson drives, misses, but there comes Erica Wheeler. Connects here on the pull-up to take the lead. And then a little stare down maybe towards Wilson right there as she walks by. So Vegas now trails by 1 with 18 seconds left. So this is the ensuing Aces possession here. They get it to Wilson. Again, this is who you want to have it. She can't get that one to go, but there's Jackie Young. Huge putback to take the 1-point lead. What a clutch play from Young. Here she was after the game on what she saw.
Bit off to the right. I'm like, it's either gonna bounce in or it's gonna come off, and it came off just right, you know. And I didn't really think I had enough time to come down, obviously, because there was 3. They were gonna have that right back on me, and I just made a play.
Great play, but there's still a little time left here for Seattle. 8 seconds left. The Storm down by 1. Wheeler gets to the free throw line. Misses here, but the rebound, it comes to Skylar Diggins. She's able to corral it, who passes it to Gabby Williams, but she cannot get the shot up in time. The lights go out, maybe the fastest lights out ever. I got to see that one more time. Lights go out, another look, and the end of the day, it's the Vegas Aces moving on. Here's Aisha Wilson with our Vanessa Richardson after the game.
Asia, what's running through your mind right now?
I can't say that on national television because I'll get in trouble, but I'm so proud of my team. We were resilient, and that's what we need to be in this playoffs, and I love each and every last one of them.
Wilson recorded her 6th career playoff game with 20 paint points. By the way, that breaks a tie with Brittany Griner and Sylvia Fowles for the most such games all time. So here's a look just at the updated bracket. This is where we stand with the Aces and Fever moving on to the semis. They're going to face each other. Here's Aces head coach Becky Hammon on that matchup.
They haven't seen the real Aces yet. They caught us when we were at a bit in turmoil. Not only that, they whooped us one of those stretches. So, you know what, we'll buckle in, hone in where we can, and take care of business.
All right, so here's the numbers behind they whooped us that Becky's talking about. Indiana won the regular season series 2-1. Each team they won at home, including that 27-point Fever win in early July. But all of those games, it came before the Aces' 16-game winning streak to end the regular season. Kelsey Mitchell scored 22 points per game during the regular season against Vegas. That is the most points per game amongst players with multiple games against the Aces this season. So she's cooking. Mitchell is also the only player with 3 20-point games against Vegas this year. And then you got A'ja Wilson, scored 24.3 points per game versus the Fever, tied with Alyssa Thomas for the most by any player against Indiana this season. However, she grabbed just 5 boards per game, her fewest against any opponent here. So those are the numbers, Ari. Now they've got the Aces waiting. Winners of 18 of their last 19 for Indiana. What kind of challenge is this going to be in the semifinals?
If I'm the Fever, I'm just throwing my hands because I have nothing to lose. Defensively, they have to be on point because you have to keep A'ja Wilson from being A'ja Wilson. But if you send a double or a triple on her, that opens up what? Room for Jackie Young, Chelsea Gray. The Aces just have so much. So if I'm Indiana, I'm just putting it all out on the floor, Malika. I mean, you have a Jackie Young who has an incredible IQ, who she just mentioned that she spotted that shot, just always active, being in the right place, and we don't necessarily give her enough credit. The Aces' depth is something to look out for. The Indiana Fever is going to have to just throw everything they can at them in order to be sustained.
You said stop A'ja from being A'ja. You make it sound so simple. That is much easier said than done. But I agree with you. That post matchup is going to be really, really interesting. So on the Vegas side of all of this, they don't want to look ahead, right, to their next opponent or take for granted how they've been playing. What steps do they need to take to hold off Indiana's momentum? Because like you said, they're playing with nothing to lose.
take it quarter by quarter. Becky Hammon has not been impressed lately with how the Aces have not been able to string together 40 minutes. And so they're going to look at film. They're going to pay attention to the details and make sure that they can just stop the opponent from scoring. If they hold them under 73 points, they're 12-1 doing that. So that's the key number for them. The Indiana Fever average 84 points per game. So that's going to be a steep defensive assignment, but the Aces are locked in. They know what it's like to lose that game too. They don't want to have that feeling again. They know what it's like to be the last second. So they don't want to have a lights out where they are out of the picture. So they're going to focus on 40 minutes straight.
It all goes down on Sunday. We get one day to prepare for all of this. We still got a little more playoff action coming up tonight.